on the challenges you face. In the first book, we explained that a mental model is simply a representation of how something works. We use models to retain knowledge and simplify how we understand the world. We can't relearn everything every day, so we construct models to help us chunk patterns and navigate our world more efficiently. Farnam Street's mental models are reliable principles that you can see at work in the world time and again. Using them means synthesizing across disciplines and not being afraid to apply knowledge from different areas far outside the domain they usually cover. Not every model applies to all situations. Part of building a latticework of mental models is educating yourself regarding which situations are best addressed by which models. This takes some work, and you're likely to make some mistakes. It's important to constantly reflect on your use of models. If something didn't work, you need to try to discover why. Over time, by reflecting on your use of individual models, you will learn which models will best help you tackle which situations. Knowing why a model works will help you know when to use it again. Systems thinking is a discipline for seeing wholes. It is a framework for seeing interrelationships rather than things, for seeing patterns of change rather than static snapshots. Peter Senge. About this book. Volume 3 examines some of the core mental models from systems and mathematics. Systems are everywhere, and we live our lives as part of many of them. Mathematics, too, explains the dynamics of how a great deal of our world works. We start each chapter by explaining the theory behind the concept, and then situate it in real-world examples. We want you to see each concept in action and be inspired to find analogous uses in your own life. To achieve this goal, we show how using the model as a lens will help you see stories and themes in history in a new way. As you go through this book, you will begin to see just how interconnected systems and mathematics are. Although we have broken the components apart to consider them separately, by the end, you will be making connections between the models yourself. A lot of the work of this series is helping you reach these connections yourself. For example, you will start to see how bottlenecks connect to surface area, and how feedback loops underpin the behavior of so many system interactions. Often the lessons and insights are relevant at both an individual and organizational level. As you learn the models, you will start to see the principles they cover in almost any situation in which you find yourself. You'll see things others don't and avoid costly mistakes. Some of the models in this book function like metaphors, especially in the mathematics section. We aim to show you how to use these models to uncover the dynamics in a variety of challenging situations you may face, and give you insight on how to harness the suggested ideas to positively influence your outcomes. The more you know, the easier it is to design solutions that will work. Other models, especially from systems, have a more literal application. Because systems are so ubiquitous, it's not useful to try to apply these models outside them. Instead, we offer ideas for considering just how much of life is part of a system, so you can expand your application of systems thinking. When looking at historical examples through the lens of a model, it's important to remember we are not attempting to demonstrate causation. We are not saying that what happened in a particular moment in history can be explained by, for example, a mathematical formula, or that a certain historical figure used the described model to guide their decisions. We are simply showing you how you might understand that bit of history differently when you use a particular model as a lens, or giving you a different perspective on why a particular person's decisions led to the outcomes they did. You therefore will get inspiration for applying the same